The main way I consume content is through video essays. I even love animated video essays. Channels like CGP Grey and Half as Interesting, they're fantastic. The other day I was watching this one channel and I liked it a lot. It looked like other animated channels that I like that use stick figures and MS Paint drawings like Minute Physics and XKCD's What If. So I went over to the channel to look for another video and there were a ton. And these people were uploading every single day. So initially I was like, I'm in for a treat. But then I got suspicious. So the thing is, I've done animation and even the crappiest, laziest thing that I've put out has taken at least a full manic day of working to get something out. And I was making 30-second videos. Each of these were 20 minutes long. So I was like, okay, maybe it's a team of people working on each of these videos. And that's when I saw the AI disclosure in the description of the video. And I was immediately put off. So why was that? There are the obvious problems with AI, the corporate greed and making people dumb and harming the environment and stealing from people. But what I'm going to talk about is trust. First, let's look at kitsch. It's basically this phenomenon that describes some art as being a cheap imitation. Think of Van Gogh's Starry Night. Super important, instantly recognizable, wow, everyone knows it. The crappy screen-printed version of it on a t-shirt is kitsch. It's cheap, it's mass-produced, it's derivative. The early 2000s spoof movies, those are kitsch. The scrap metal Eiffel Tower keychains and the knockoff sports merchandise, those are kitsch. You can like it and it even has a place in culture, but that doesn't mean it has any inherent value. Its value comes from the thing that it's copying and from its circumstances. Like if your best friend gave you a phone case with the Mona Lisa on the back, it's not because the phone case itself is really great with the Mona Lisa, but because your friend gave it to you that you value it. Austrian writer Hermann Brock wrote, "Kitsch mimics its immediate predecessor with no regard to ethics. It aims to copy the beautiful, not the good." Now think of AI. You'll know you're looking at AI art even if you can't explain why. Even with the stick figures in this video, there's just something missing. What's missing is substance. It's because AI has to steal from people in order to produce whatever it does, and it's not in charge of those decisions, so it doesn't have the intentionality that real people put into whatever they're creating. The value of an AI image of Elon Musk as Superman depends on the name brand value of both of these people. And so, AI art is kitsch. And it's really difficult to trust kitsch. Oliver Zollner, a professor at the Stuttgart Media University, he wrote in an essay that it's in the nature of kitsch to point to the past and recycle it in a desirable way. He wrote, "Kitsch is based on a pose that, akin to bullshit, places the producer in the center and discredits claims to the truth." What AI is doing is reproducing stuff that already exists with a focus on what the prompter wants. This guy didn't meet Michael Jackson at the Eiffel Tower. And AI wouldn't have come up with this on its own. This guy needed to have typed out a prompt that included himself, MJ, and the Eiffel Tower. Even if he generated an image of just Michael Jackson, it's never going to be an exact image of him. Something will be different. A pose he's never done before, or some strange proportions. These differences are a form of lying because they never existed. So it's impossible to separate the AI from the prompter, and it's impossible to separate the AI from the lies. So you cannot have honest AI. And this goes beyond the images. In the video essays, the narration sounded human to me.
We spend a lot of time asking how they hunted, how they built things, how they survived winters and infections and predators, but we almost never ask what they did when they weren't doing any of that.
I don't know if it is or it isn't. It doesn't credit a narrator, and the AI disclaimer doesn't say what was made with AI. So now I'm questioning everything about the video. Is the music AI, the narration? And then I wonder about the script. If everything else was human-made, but the script was AI, there wouldn't be a disclosure. But now that I know that these guys are willing to use AI in their visuals and their audio, how do I know that they didn't use AI in their script? Now, what's wrong with using AI in the script, right? It's about the accuracy. It's really difficult to gauge accuracy. From what I've read, AI is about 90 to 95% accurate in its responses. The problem is that AI cannot say, I don't know. If you pick 10 random people off the street and ask them what marketing under recovery is, they'll probably say, I don't know. But AI can't do that. It has to keep you engaged and it has to keep you using the app, so it'll give you an answer whether it knows the answer or not. But if AI is 90% accurate or 95% accurate, then maybe 1 out of every 10 times that answer it gives you is going to be wrong. And that's why I can't trust AI. Because every time I ask it a question, what if it's the one time it's wrong? So if this channel uses AI in their videos, how do I know that the information in their script isn't hallucinated? Unless I'm an expert, I don't. So the next logical thing is ask an expert, right? But the thing is, people are wrong too. Professors, politicians, scientists, parents, everyone is wrong at least once. And usually they're wrong a lot. So what makes me trust AI less than people? Accountability. If my friend says something that I know is wrong, I can tell them that they're wrong. They might argue or they might acquiesce, but I can have that conversation. I can always email a politician or a scientist and be like, hey, you're wrong. They might not respond, but I can reach out and there's some form of accountability. How do you have a conversation with a robot? It's a piece of code. You can't sway it or convince it that you're actually right and that it's wrong. So you might be like, okay, well, if an AI is giving you wrong information, you can talk to the creator of the AI, or you can talk to the person who used the AI to give you that information. But the problem is that there's always the ability to blame it on the AI. The creators can be like, hey, this is the data that we trained it on. Or the person who used the AI is like, oh, this is what ChatGPT told me or whatever. So where's the accountability? They don't need to take accountability. French philosopher Michel Foucault, in his writings called Power/Knowledge, he argued that power dictates what's true and what's known. He was mostly talking about prisons and hospitals, but you'll see a lot of this applied to AI as well. The people behind AI can make it say what they want. Elon Musk had to put down Grok because it turned into Mecha Hitler. They're constantly tweaking AI to give more neutral responses. These companies have to put safeguards on their chatbots so that they don't tell people to kill themselves. This last one is a good thing, but it still shows that these companies have the power to alter what their bots say. Now, I'm not saying that this guy has evil intent or that the information in his videos is evil or that it's even wrong. I don't know if they're wrong. But it could be, and that's the problem. There's this one video where they're talking about how human beings used to be awake in the middle of the night.
People didn't sleep in one long block. They slept in two. First sleep started shortly after dark and lasted a few hours. Then people woke up naturally, spent an hour or two in a state of quiet wakefulness, sometimes talking, sometimes praying, sometimes having sex, sometimes just lying there thinking, and then went back to sleep for a second block until morning.
How do I know that this is true? How do I know that, ChatGPT said that so that you can be productive at 2 a.m. or whatever, right? I don't know. Now, the thing is, this problem exists outside of AI as well. But the thing is that AI is really ramping up how easy it is to get to people at a grassroots level. So instead of running a whole campaign, they just have to pay a company to make their chatbots whisper at you. Like we saw in advertising, we saw with the Cambridge Analytica thing, there was this whole issue of people's information being used to push an agenda on their private feeds, right? This is the same thing that could happen with AI, or it maybe is already happening with AI. So in his book, Discipline and Punish, Foucault talks about how prisons became the primary form of punishment in the West. What he argued is that structures like prison, they change people to become the kind of person who succeeds within the structure. Prisons make people behave a certain way because they want to get out of prison. Schools make people behave a certain way so that they get good grades and validation. The structures make people internalize the power system. And AI is a tool that reinforces that same system. You might have heard that AI is here to stay and that it's inevitable, so you should get on board, otherwise you'll be left behind. That's the kind of reinforcement that makes people accept the structure that includes AI. So a video essay that uses AI is implicitly saying that you should trust AI just by virtue of it using AI itself. It's a McLuhanist way of pushing bias towards the system. I didn't like that AI video or that channel because I didn't trust it. Neither should you. Stay safe, stop using AI. I've been Varun Vyas Hebbalalu. Thanks for listening.